I'm going to talk to you about some of the fallacies which we make, some of the fallacies which our client tell us, and I'm talking here like a advisor or a broker with direct equity clients, right? I'm not talking about mutual fund clients. Mutual fund clients behave little differently. So here, direct equity clients. First is the sunk cost fallacy. You bought some share at high price. Let us say you have bought, what is an example I can give you of a share which has fallen. Let's say you bought HDFC Bank at a high price, and then it has moved nowhere in the last 1 year. And somebody comes and tells you that, well, HDFC Bank may not be, maybe ICICI Bank is a better bet. And you find that your HDFC Bank has fallen 10% or 15%, and then you say, typically client reaction is saying, already I've lost 15%, I can't afford to come out. One way to react. This is called the sunk cost fallacy. Already itna paisa dal diya hai, abhi how can I remove it, right? I will lose that money. Because you think in your mind that the price is going back to, the share price will go back to your price. This is called the my price syndrome. You think it cannot go below my price because the day you bought it, you thought it was a great buy. So today when it has fallen by 15% or 20%, you can't accept that it has fallen, because then you have to accept that you made a mistake. That's very difficult. It's very difficult for me to accept that I made a mistake even when I'm looking at a mirror. How will I accept my mistake when I'm talking to you? So I will not accept that I made mistakes. Have I made mistakes? You should look at my portfolio. Lots of mistakes, right? So I think I have Fortis Malhar Hospital bought at 69 or 70. Today it is 57. So yes, it's a mistake. What did I think will happen? Well, I thought Fortis Hospital is doing well, so Fortis Malhar has to do well. It's not doing well. So there I am stuck. Either I sell and run, or I just hold on. So this is a sunk cost fallacy. I've already lost so much, so I cannot afford to sell. Second one is to say, oh, I've already lost so much, so why can't I average? Because I have to still tell myself that having bought Fortis at 67 or 68 is a very sensible decision. Now if that is fallen to 55, it is not my fault. It is the mistake of the market. The market does not realize it's a great value stock, right? So that is why value investing is so difficult. You have to be arrogant to believe that you are right and the market is wrong. So it's very, very difficult, right? So first is the sunk cost fallacy or the averaging fallacy. To say, oh my God, if it has fallen, so let me buy more, right? So both these are wrong. So you have to tell the client, let us write down, let us look at the research report, are we convinced? So if I am a portfolio manager, I will write a note saying, I bought this at 67, I thought it was a good share, this is the basis on which I bought, here is the research report, therefore I think I am going to hold on, right? That's the way to look at each individual stock and see what mistake you are making. Not saying, oh, overall market is expensive, overall market is cheap, then you buy puts and calls, right? That's the way to react to the overall market. Since you are not investing in the overall market, it does not make sense for you to worry about the overall market. What is the other mistake which people make is the hot hand fallacy. I bought this share at 800 rupees, now it is 1300, it can't go wrong. So I will buy more of it. Again, no, not getting into right or wrong. This is called the hot hand fallacy. They're saying, I bought it and see in 10 days it has gone up from X price to Y price, right? I'm not naming the share, but some share which you bought has gone up. And you think it has gone up because of you, right? That's another problem. You think it's gone up because of you. This is the hot hand fallacy. Then you remind people that, look, there is a mutual fund saying which says, past performance is not a guide to future performance, and that you have got 40% return in 3 weeks, 4 weeks or 6 weeks. Just imagine in a country where the gilt is at 7 or 8%, if you have got 40% in 4 weeks or 6 weeks, this is not going to sustain. There is some reason. So can we reduce the position, right? Don't go to a zero position, but can you reduce the position? You've bought 5,000 shares. Can you come down to 3,000 shares? Can you come down to 4,000 shares? Taking a little bit of profit is not too bad. We will lease the last 1,000 or 2,000 shares, right? I mean, it could be 100,000. I'm not saying I'm not talking of a portfolio size, right? So depending on that, taking a little profit makes sense, because the volatile market could come down and you could buy it back. So this is what we would call the hot hand fallacy of saying, I bought this fund and this fund has gone up, or I bought this share, and this happens more with equity market. I bought this share and the share price went up. I bought it at 800 rupees, then I bought it at 900, now it is 1300. So it's a good share, so I will keep buying, right? Another one is the confirmation bias, saying I looked at the fund manager portfolio, the fund manager also has the same thing. It happens to me. There is one fund manager who runs a nice small fund, and when I look at his or her portfolio, I look at a lot of the shares which I have. Now this is confirmation bias, saying wow, this smart fund manager also thinks the way I think. Maybe right, maybe wrong, but there is confirmation bias. Then you focus on all these signals for supporting your portfolio. It's not that you think that is the best share to buy, but you are now convinced because of the confirmation bias. So then the question again is, do you want to again see the prospectus of what you have bought? Do you want to see the research report? Do you want to know why this has happened? Get into that rather than saying confirmation bias. You do not know why the fund manager is bought. You do not know his or her view on that. Nothing you know. You only know that the fund manager has bought, and you're looking at that because you're looking at that. Maybe there is some share just above or below which has given a better return which you have not looked at. So selling a share is always a good idea if you have a better idea, right? If you don't have a better idea, stick to it. I have no clue why I should sell Colgate. I'm stuck to Colgate. I stuck to Gillette, Procter and Gamble, etc. because I don't have better ideas. But if I have a better idea, I'll sell. I don't have a problem in selling. So you should be willing to sell. You should be willing to churn your portfolio. You should say, oh, I need to reduce my exposure to this particular fund because the fund has become too big in the size of my portfolio. 40% in one company, not done. For the 70% also people go up to when it's the company in which they're working with the ESOP. This is not done, right? So you have to look at confirmation bias. Is confirmation bias hitting you, right? When or you also say, oh, this fund manager is bought, therefore I will buy. That's again a confirmation bias, saying, oh, this fund manager can do no wrong, right? Go and read Plato and Socrates. That is exactly what that is what Socrates questioned. You cannot say he's God, therefore he can't make mistakes. You have to question God, right? So you have to question every portfolio. Like for example, let me go to my favorite example, Coal India. I sold when it was 348 or 358 or something like that, simply because I felt that the government is going to create too much supply in terms of ETF. So I sold, but very surprisingly, big fund managers who had a Coal India position did not sell. I have no reason why they did not sell. I don't think it was any kind of governmental pressure, but they did not sell, and then it came down to 120. I thought at a 10% dividend yield, it can't go below that. So I bought at 120, 117, 119, 117. I don't remember buying below that. And then I told another fund manager that, look, I'm going to hold it till it is 330, right? So now it is somewhere halfway around mark 235. I'm not at all worried about naming Coal India. Coal India prices won't move just because 100 of my readers bought 1,000 shares. That's 100,000 shares. The price won't move. So therefore, I'm making this brave statement. Another one thing is, this is a beautiful example, is if your daughter is wearing a green frock and you're watching her play in a garden, you find many people are wearing green frocks, right? So, and you think, wow, today everybody is wearing green. The truth is your eye is able to see only green. If you took down a piece of paper and wrote down red, yellow, blue, green, orange, whatever, you will find that green is not so often, but your mind picks it up. So that is what is called availability bias. You buy a share and suddenly there is an article on that in any magazine. Let's say Wall Street Journal. I don't want to name an Indian magazine. And you say, oh, look, Wall Street Journal has also carried this article, or New York Times has also carried this article. Buffett also mentioned this share, right? So then that's it. After that you feel, wow, I've arrived because somebody else has also bought the same share which I have bought. That is called availability bias, right? So you look at all that. When you see that, you can find it because your eye does not look for something else. So check out what other data sources say, what other fund managers say, what fund managers who have sold say. You look at all those things, and so you can cause less harm to your portfolio. Another thing is, this happens even while people write exams. So last 3 attempts I failed, so this time I have to pass. There is no such rule. A person who has failed 3 times can fail the 4th time. So saying, oh mera naseeb acha nahi chal raha, last 4 shares that I bought have not done well, so this one will do well. There is no such logic. Don't try to find a pattern when there is none. If you have last 4 shares have not done well, maybe your 5th also will not do well. Stop picking shares. See what pattern is there. I found traders who find a pattern saying, oh, on days of on Thursdays, second Thursdays of last Thursdays of the month, when there is closure, I am all the options and F&O closure happens, I will not deal on that day because on that day the fluctuation is higher. And somebody could say I would deal only on that day because on that day I am able to read the market better. So to each his own. But to think that last 5 stocks didn't do well, so this will do well, or last 4 stocks didn't do well, so this will do well, or last 5 stocks did well, therefore this will do well, are all gambler's fallacy. We cannot call them as any kind of a trend. It is just the most important thing to realize is in this huge universe or the Milky Way, there is a small country or a say reasonably big country, but in which there is one small city where you are a part of and you are insignificant. The market doesn't know that you exist, and if you drop dead today, the market will still go on. The market did not stop even when Rakesh Jhunjhunwala died, right? So market will go on. So don't trend to believe that you have a trend and you are causing it and things like that. It's not true. It's not going to happen, right? Another worry is mental accounting. So when you get an income tax refund, you should feel ashamed and kick yourself for paying too much tax. Therefore you are getting a refund. Then you say, now I have got this refund, I can do whatever I want with it, this is free money. It's not free money, it's your own money, stupid. You paid excess and you got it back. So you shouldn't have got it. You have got it because you have paid too much. So it's your fallacy that you paid too much. Now don't, what happens is we creating pockets in our head. We're saying, oh, this is this money, this is this money, this is, we've been told to do that. That's the best way to control your expenses. This is money for the washerwoman, this is money for the bai, this is money for the cook, this is money for the driver, this is money for istri ka kapda, this is money for grocery. You keep it in separate pockets and make sure that you spend only from that, and that's a proper budget control, right? That is what it used to be long back. So even now we put our money in different pockets. Not true. Don't bother about this. Stop being a victim to mental accounting. No, these are some of the things which cause a lot of damage in your portfolio. So look at biases, see how you can handle it. Tell the client to write down more. I mean, I've always been an advocate of a notebook. So let the client write down his or her feelings so that you can review it after 6-8 months. Where is the international market headed? No idea, but will Credit Suisse fail? Very high probability. Thank you.